Boom! At the open, all-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't make up happy.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning, I wanna turn on this. Becky quick. While the average man looking at this sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stock pick. I know that booty got dropped, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounces. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the futures, some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and die. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call it short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles profits while I'm still in my same making profits. They used to watch me move them packs. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETF. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? And make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? And make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? And make profits.
That TTG money gang.
And making profits.
We some snipers.
Hey, you. What's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. We have a fantastic, amazing, incredible, important live stream for you guys all here today. We gave it to you on a silver platter. The price action that you're seeing this week, Monday's live stream, we gave it to you. We told you what we were going to be expecting out of the markets this week. We told you to look for that crack of that key support level at 405. We told you to look for that retest of the 400 structure level. We told you to look for the retest of that 50-day moving average. We told you to be paying attention to an easy 5-point drop in the overall markets. It's exactly what you've got to start out so far this short week of trading because of the holiday. Hope you guys all had a fantastic holiday and hope you enjoyed the extra day off that you had. But there's a lot going on this week. There's so much happening. You already had the Fed minutes that came out today. You got inflation data on Friday. You have 7 Fed members that are going to be speaking over the next couple of days here this week. You got earnings out from Nvidia and a whole lot more. This is an important live stream. I told you that on Monday that this market was going to move, that these are going to be market moving catalysts. And when you have game plans, and you have your levels, you can take advantage of what is the most volatile, opportunistic market that I've ever seen in my entire 17-year career. And we're going to talk about what has happened over these first couple of trading days of this week, but what we expect to happen moving forward with the next catalyst that we still have this week. And there's still a ton of them. There's only 2 days left, but there's a long list of catalysts that if I roll it out, it hits the floor. So we got to talk about the game plan and what we expect to happen, and more importantly, obviously, how we plan on making money from it. So we have a fantastic live stream for you guys here today. What's up? Welcome. My name is Michael Edward, former award-winning hedge fund trader, but now the current head trader and co-founder of True Trading Group. If you guys don't know by now, we're the fastest growing and highest rated premium online educational platform that's available to the retail trader and investor. So if you're ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, you've come to the right place. I do these live 6 days a week, Sunday through Friday, with myself, other TTG Pro trading mods, as well as some special guests. We'll give you golden nuggets of information, lessons, education, market commentary and analysis, and trade ideas that can help you become better traders and investors immediately. So take a moment, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys turn on the notifications. Don't ever miss out on any of these live streams. And of course, make sure that you share this on your own social media. We can reach out, empower, and educate as many retail traders as we possibly can. Why should you give a damn about anything that I'm talking about, though, on these live streams? I didn't figure this stuff out on my own. I began my career working for a fund in New York City where I first had to go through a 3-month educational training program before they let me touch $1 of their money. That's where I learned how to trade. Not in my mother's basement for 3 years, back testing a bunch of weird equations and doing a bunch of math and figuring out some special secret pattern that nobody else knows except myself. No, I was taught by other professionals how to do this the proper way. Then 2008 happened. That was the Great Recession, the stock market crash, but it was also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, I'm the co-founder and the head trader of True Trading Group, and along with my team of 9 other professional trading moderators and a 30-person staff, we have helped thousands of traders from all over the world, represented in over 100 different countries, to reach their goals of reaching profitability. See, True Trading Group's the fast growing and highest rated platform out there because we combine university level trading and investing courses with premium stock market tools. We do live workshops and provide mentorship for stocks, options, crypto, futures, you name it, we trade it, and all styles of trading. Day trading, swing trading, and also long-term investing. So whether you're looking to day trade, swing trade, or you're just looking to get that long-term portfolio righted back up since, with all the mistakes that were made last year, we do all of it inside of True Trading Group. You see, we take that university level curriculum, similar to stuff that I learned. Basically, it's a simplified and expanded upon version of the 3-month educational training program that I went through when I worked at the fund. And we pair that with some of the top trading tools in the industry. These are tools that successful traders use to get access to more information so that they can make better decisions, so they can increase their chances of success. Successful traders don't get their ideas from Reddit. They don't get their ideas from Twitter. They don't get their ideas from Discords. They don't get their ideas from waiting for the mother of all short squeezes. Successful traders are successful because they have access to these tools. The problem is these tools are very expensive, but they can greatly improve your chances of success. So we as a company have spent years building relationships with Benzinga, TradingView, Trade Ideas, ETNA, just to name a few, so that you guys do not have to pay for these tools. These are tools that would cost you anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000 a year. If you were to pay for them on your own, they are included when you join the TTG platform at no additional cost to you. You'll get dark pool data, unusual options activity, analyst ratings, insider buying, insider selling, a trading journal, a simulator, a social sentiment scanner, congressional trading data, meaning like Congress members and their family members, what stocks are they buying and selling. All of this stuff you have access to on the TTG platform. But these tools, this data would cost you $5,000 or $6,000 a year easy if you go to pay for it on your own. You also get access to all the TTG family members, all of our members, we call them family members, from all over the world, from all walks of life. They are the most educated, helpful, supportive, and successful community of traders that you're ever going to find. Not to mention, you get all the real-time trade alerts from myself and the other TTG mods that have been able to maintain a cumulative win rate amongst us as a group of just around 80% now going on the last 3 years. So, folks, if you haven't done so by now, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and most importantly, turn on those notifications so you never miss out on any of the live streams that we do for you guys here, because we're dropping golden nuggets on a regular basis, giving you market commentary that can help you make money. Bottom line, that's why you're all here. Right? Why else would you be here at 8:30 in the evening when you could be watching Netflix or doing a long list of any other things, watching the basketball game or watching a hockey game or whatever it is that, floats your boat. Instead, you're here. You're here to try to make money because apparently whatever it is that you've probably been doing for the last couple of years is resulting in the exact opposite of that, and that is losing money. You had 2022 when buying the dip and hodling and holding on for dear life and diamond handing to the moon left you with massive red destruction in your portfolio, and now you're trying to right the ship. I told you for the last 2 weeks on these live streams that the retail trader and investor has become complacent, that we went from peak fear and peak pessimism in September and October to peak optimism here in January and February. I told you the retail trader has come flying back into the market. If you've been listening to these live streams for the last 2 weeks, I said very specifically, September and October, when the markets bottomed, that is when we were at peak fear. This was peak fear and peak pessimism in the market. This was the time when everybody was talking about that Credit Suisse was going to go out of business. It was going to be a Lehman Brothers moment. There's some emergency Fed meeting, which there was not. People just didn't understand that it was not an emergency Fed meeting. It was actually fully scheduled meeting. And Credit Suisse did not go out of business, and there was not a Lehman Brothers moment. But at that moment, people said the stock market's going to go down 80%. We're going to have the depression of all depressions. Everyone's going to be, going to the soup kitchen and standing on bread lines. That was peak fear. Peak pessimism. You want to know what else happened at that very moment? Within that 2-week window from September into October when the markets bottomed, retail investors became net sellers of stocks for the first time. They actually ended up selling all of the stocks that they had bought during the 2021 market rally and market boom and meme stock craze. They became net sellers. And when retail becomes net sellers, it is usually indicative of a short-term bottom. I told you that in September and October when we were having those live streams, if you've been following this channel for even longer than just the last couple of 2 weeks. But then something else happened over the last 2 weeks that made me very, very cautious on the direction of this market going into the back half of February. And that was that the retail trader has come back, or the retail investor has come flying back into the market at substantially higher prices, because now, instead of a depression like people were talking about in September and October, now I'm hearing this ridiculousness, and that's what it is, ridiculousness of a no landing scenario. Really? You went from depression to recession to soft landing to now no landing. Just as ridiculous as depression was, no landing is equally as ridiculous. This, my friends, is the example of the emotional roller coaster that the retail investor continues to get caught up on, which is the reason why the retail investor continues to lose money in the markets. And every single time the markets crash, you have the great transfer of wealth. That great transfer of wealth is from the retail investor for, the average mom and pop, people that don't have a lot of wealth, and they give it right to the professionals on Wall Street that have more than enough and don't need any more, but the retail investor gladly gives them because they fall victim to the emotions. And I told you when the retail trader came back in the first week of February, the retail trader has come back to a point of a record high as far as percentage of volume on the NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange. So the way that statistic and the way that data point is calculated is if you look at all of the order flow that takes place on any given day, every buy and every sell, every order that comes through the markets, every share traded, the volume transacted, retail made up 23% 2 weeks ago. That is an all-time record high, beating the previous record high from 2021 during the meme stock craze of 21 to 22%. That means that the retail investor became net sellers of stocks in September and October because of fear. And now they are now at a record high percentage of volume in the overall market, which is an example of greed and FOMO. Now they feel like, oh, I missed the bottom, I'm going to miss out. And the fear of missing out has now overtaken the fear of the markets crashing. And that level of complacency has been the theme of these live streams for the last 2 weeks. For the last 2 weeks, I told you the market's very complacent. I told you that the market feels as if inflation is just gone. It's just going to continue to come down at the same pace it has for the last 6 months. And it's easier for inflation to go from 9.0 to 6.5 than it is to go from 6.5 to 3.5. And you've seen that now with the inflation numbers that have come out over the last 2 weeks. PPI scorching hot, CPI scorching hot, and guess what? More inflation data on Friday. On Friday, you're going to get more PCE inflation data, a piece of inflation data that the Fed focuses on very closely. So therefore, you should be focusing on it very closely. I certainly am focusing on it very closely. And we're going to talk about what that all means for us and how we're going to position ourselves. I want to start off this live stream here today because I know you all probably have a ton of questions, especially if you've been following these live streams for the last couple of weeks, or even better, if you've been following for the last couple of months or even the last couple of years. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. There's a lot happening. Nvidia comes out with earnings. They're a monster, right? Nvidia that takes AMD up with it, lifting the entire semiconductor space. Hell, lifting the entire NASDAQ and lifting the entire S&P with it, with Nvidia earnings after the close today. That's how good they were, lifting the entire stock market. But you also had the Fed minutes today. You've got this lunar stock, LUNR. Everybody wants to know, is it the next HKD? I'm sure you guys have a ton of questions and what happens from the market because these last couple of trading days, the markets have gone down. And as the markets go down, people start to get anxious. When people get anxious, they have questions. And for everyone that has questions, I have answers. It is my pleasure to do an open Q&A with you guys here today. I want to open the floor up. I want to give some time for people to log on because this is a very important trading week. These are very important catalysts. And I want to make sure that we get as many people on here as we possibly can so we can educate, we can empower, and we can help as many people as we possibly can. So we're going to start a live Q&A session right here, right now. What I want you all to start doing is to begin typing your questions in the chat right now. We will grab some of your questions, we'll throw them up on the screen, and I will answer anything and everything that you guys want to know. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and begin that Q&A, guys. Go ahead right now, start typing your questions. Let's start that Q&A. Don't be shy, guys. Type those questions right in chat. Now's your time to ask. I'll take some questions just so we can give some time for people to log on before we get into all the big stuff. What level are you planning on adding the last 25% of your long-term portfolio? Carson Walden, excellent question. The last piece of my long-term portfolio that is still sitting on the sidelines, that is still in cash. So for those, I'll just give you the backstory. In 2021, September and October, I sold the majority of my long-term portfolio. Actually, for the first time in a decade, I was actually liquidating my long-term portfolio to raise a lot of cash. And it turned out to be the right move. It was actually right here. I was very vocal about it. I announced it on YouTube. right there is when I started liquidating my long-term portfolio. Okay. We have since added back in the long-term portfolio into individual stocks, but without saving you the list of, I'll just circle the days in the market when we added. Here was one day we added a 25% chunk, and then here we added a much, oops, that's the wrong drawing tool. And then here we added a much bigger chunk. We actually nailed that June bottom, June 17th. So right here is where I got money back into the markets. But I still do have some cash that's sitting on the sideline still. That money is not finding a home up here. Okay, that money is not finding a home up here. So my ideal scenario, I'll give you the two examples. So I believe that we're going to have a mild recession. It's just not happening right now. It's going to take some time for the rate hikes to really filter through the economy. And I believe that maybe sometime towards the end of the year that you may see a mild recession. And if that is the case, then I believe the markets will get themselves back down into this region. And I'm looking for the final chunk of my money to be added to the markets down there in the 340s. Right there would be the final chunk of my long-term portfolio being added. You're only going to get down to this price point if there is a recession. I do not believe you're going to break this low if you do not have a recession. If a recession is avoided, and if the Fed is able to pull off a soft landing, I do not believe that that low breaks. I think the only way that low breaks is if you have a recession. All right. So I think that we may have a mild one, and that's why I'm looking for that area. However, if we get towards the end of the year and GDP is still holding really strong and you're at like 1%, 1.1, you're not even getting close to like a zero or even a negative number, then folks, that money will find a home probably somewhere in the 370s. Right around this region is where that last chunk, I'd say from 360s to 370s is where that last chunk is going to find a home. Okay, so there's where money went in, there's where money went in, and then either here with no recession towards the end of the year, and I'll make that call as the year goes on and I start to see the economic data, if I think the chances are higher or lower over the next couple of months. But for one thing is for certain, that money is not finding a home up here in the 400s. It just seems the most rational thing to do is keep your cash on the sidelines until the market picks a direction to head in. Is this an irrational strategy, in your opinion? I don't think keeping on the sidelines is a good idea at all. I don't think keeping on the sidelines is a good idea at all. You know, because what ends up happening is when you keep your money on the sidelines, okay, what ends up happening is you start to have a tendency. You start to have a tendency to try to pick the bottom. And nobody can pick the bottom. You ask any professional that actually does this for a living, ask any professional that makes millions of dollars in the markets or that manages billions of dollars running a hedge fund, not one of those professionals will tell you that they try to pick the market bottom. Not one of them will do that. Even the people that you see on TV that say, my target is 3,200, or like say my target is 320 on the SPY. Every single person that you see on television that is a true professional that says, oh, I think the SPY is going to 320, they're not just completely out of the market and they're just waiting for the market to get to 320 and then all their money is going to go into the market. They're buying throughout the entire process. They're not trying to pick the exact bottom and waiting and doing nothing until you get to 320. Trying to pick the bottom is a complete fool's game. Any professional will tell you, don't try to do it. The professionals can't do it. What makes a non-professional think that they can do something that a professional willingly admits that they are not capable of doing? So don't try to pick the exact bottom. That's first and foremost. Secondly, this is the best trading environment that I've ever seen in my entire life. I've been doing this for 17 years. The volatility in this market is unbelievable. There's opportunity everywhere. There's opportunity in small caps, in mid caps, in large caps, in commodities. There's opportunity in bonds. Like, do you remember the last time there was opportunity for you to actually just put money to work, like in T-bills? You have to go back to like 2007, 2006 to the last time you had interest rates on T-bills that you have now. So keeping your money on the sidelines, I think right now is a bad decision. That's me personally. You know, it's the best trading environment that I've ever seen, and members of True Trading Group are taking advantage of that. right? Members are taking advantage of it. Members of True Trading Group, the vast majority of them, are making money right now in this environment. They're not waiting for the market to pick a direction. The vast majority of members in True Trading Group are making money right now in this environment you find yourself in. And don't take my word for it. You don't have to take my word for it. Hell, I don't even expect you to take my word for it. And really, honestly, you shouldn't take my word for it. But let me ask members themselves. Take their word for it. Members of True Trading Group, do me a favor right now. Type the $ in chat. If you're making money right now in this environment, you guys are becoming better traders. Simple, straightforward question. You're making money, you're becoming better traders, type the $ right now in chat. I did not catch the person's name that asked me that question, so I do apologize that I did not grab your name before I answered your question. But just pay attention to how many people are typing the $. These are people that are just like you. These aren't bots. These are real people just like you. They're not smarter than you. They don't have more money than you. They don't have more time than you. They don't have more experience than you. They have all the same problems and issues and hurdles that you have. The only things they have that you don't is an actual professional education, which is what I learned when I worked at the hedge fund in New York, access to real professional tools, and they're part of a community of traders and investors that genuinely give a damn whether or not each other succeed or fail. That's the only difference. Josh Farrington is the person that asked the question. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. Yeah, so Josh, I hope that helps answer your question, man. Right? So you guys can see firsthand, and don't take my word for it. Just, I think it's always best when people have questions like that. Like, listen, you want to ask me about a stock, you want to ask me about the markets or about me personally, it's my pleasure. But whenever you're talking about other people and our members making money, it's always better to hear it from them directly. You want to sit on the sidelines, you lose. That's my honest take. You want to sit on the sidelines, you lose. You underperform. If you're afraid to invest in yourself and you're afraid to invest in your education, you lose. You underperform. Or worse, you lose money. That's my honest opinion, my honest belief. And every single person that you saw just type the $ would tell you the exact same thing. Members of True Trading Group, do you think Josh Farrington should sit on the sidelines right now? Members of True Trading Group, do you think Josh Farrington, who asked the question, and Josh, I hope you appreciate, I'm not like trying to single you out. You asked the question. I hope that you appreciate kind of the openness that our members have. So members, you answer. You guys, you tell me, you think Josh should be sitting this one out? I would just pay attention to some of the comments coming through, Josh. To be honest with you, man, it's not about the markets going up or down. It's about understanding how to be able to be profitable, how to make money during all of that movement, and really recognizing where the opportunity lies, identifying it and taking advantage of it. And that's exactly what these members are doing. I would listen to them. They're your peers. They're no different from you, man. Why is market trading in range? It's not. It broke out of its range. It broke out of its range yesterday. So the SPY was trading in a consolidation range over the last 2 weeks. Okay, so here was your consolidation range. And to be quite honest, you can even make it even a little bit cleaner, and you can kind of say it was kind of a downward sloping kind of consolidation range. You can do one of these. And he's here's this little channel consolidation, this downward sloping consolidation. That consolidation was broken yesterday. All right, so yesterday you had that big drop. You had that big drop in the markets yesterday. And the reason why you were trading in a consolidation range up in these areas was the market was getting a lot of data over the first 2 weeks of February that were very, very, it was very much in the middle. And what I mean by in the middle is there was compelling arguments to be made from bulls and shorts and bears on whether or not the data that has come out in the first 2 weeks was good or bad. In the first 2 weeks, you got higher than expected inflation data, but you got a red hot jobs market. Retail sales were through the roof. Right? All of these things were happening in the first 2 weeks of February. And one day the markets were up big, the next day the markets were down, the next day the markets were up, the next day the markets were down. As the market was trying to digest, inflation data, the jobs data, the retail data that, hey, the consumer is still extremely strong. That means, chances of recession are low, but then you have higher than expected inflation, which means the Fed's gonna have to be more aggressive, which means the chances of recession increases. And that balancing act is where the consolidation range came from for the last 2 weeks, and it finally cracked yesterday. Guys, in just a moment, Nvidia, the SPY, my game plan is coming up here in a couple of minutes. And yes, I will also talk about LUNR, Lunar. Is that the next HKD? And we'll go over this week's analysis and this week's catalysts in just a couple of minutes. I'm just doing an open floor blanket Q&A session. For you guys to start things off, just to give some time for people to log on. But that consolidation range was broken. Okay, that consolidation range was in fact broken. All right, so I would not say that the markets are trading in a range. That range was just broken. Can you have a new range develop? Sure, but that range has now been broken. You could have a new range. All right, you could have a new range. All right, as a matter of fact, as we're talking about this breakdown, we went over this. If you guys caught my live stream on Monday, so I did a live stream on Monday. The markets were closed. I was in Mexico, and we did a live stream because I felt like we had a huge week coming up, and I actually went over with you guys about this level and what to expect in the markets. And we said if you break 405, if the SPY breaks 405, which was the bottom end of that consolidation, that it should be a very easy 5-point move to the downside, and the SPY gets down to 400 and tests those high 390s, and then you're going to get into the major moving averages. And the major moving average, your first one would be the 50-day. That's exactly where you dropped right to. So once you broke 405, and I'll just draw that line for you guys right across that 405 level, this was that 405 support level that we talked about on Monday. On Monday, we talked about this, and I told you on Monday, if the SPY gets underneath this 405 level, on Tuesday, get short, ride it down to at least 400. We said at least 400. I actually have a quick video clip for you guys from Monday's live stream in case you missed it. If you were there with me on Monday, fantastic. You guys caught the whole analysis. But I do want to play this video clip for you. This video clip is from Monday, and forgive the quality. I'm in Mexico while I was doing my live stream on Monday. But I do want to go ahead and play this quick video clip for my analysis on the SPY from Monday afternoon. This 405 level, we're going to draw a line right across it on my screen. This level right here is a double bottom. This double bottom level from Friday, and then there's that previous double bottom here from February 10th. There is your previous double bottom level of support until you drop to structure support at 400. I want you guys to be drawing these lines on these levels on your screen. All right, there's your structure support at 400. If you get underneath 405, I'm looking for the SPY to get back to 400 minimum to be short on that move. So if, for example, Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, depending on the catalyst that you have coming out, if we are underneath that 405 level, right, we really get underneath it. We got down to 404 on Friday, but then recovered. We got back above it. So you tested the level and then closed back above it. So that level has still not been broken. But if you get underneath that 404, 405 level, it should be an easy 4 to 5 point move back to 400. So that's going to be one of the top trade ideas that we're going to be looking for if that level gets broken and violated this week. So there you have it. That's from Monday. Okay. So from Monday's live stream, there's the level, right? There it is. There's the double bottom, right? We drew it. I said if you get underneath it, get short, ride the wave to back down, and I'll go into even a shorter time frame chart. This was such cake. This was such an easy setup that you gapped underneath it on Tuesday. You then bounced back up, found resistance right at that level, and you can see how this was previously that level of support from the previous week. That was Friday's trading action. Support, 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 support. You gapped under it on Tuesday. You bounced back up, found resistance, and then just Again, what did we say? Should be an easy 5-point move. You went from 404 to 399. That is exactly a 5-point move with no bounce attempt whatsoever. There was no rally back. There was no, oh man, this stock's ripping against me. I'm taking a loss, like I'm sweating. I'm almost going to get stopped out. There was nothing like that. It was an easy move. Okay, there's an easy move here, and members were able to capitalize on it. But this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Guys, we're handing this out there on a silver platter. And members and moderators and everybody inside True Trading Group on Tuesday had massive days thanks to that analysis and thanks to that commentary and that trading and those trade ideas. That was the top trade idea for Tuesday. And it worked out beautifully. This is why, Josh, you should not be on the sidelines. This is why you should not be on the sidelines. Suresh, impressive. Thank you. But please, I've been trading from my cell phone. I need a laptop. I could buy one, but I would not have enough left to buy a membership. Any chance you get some soon? That's crazy. Actually, Suresh, we have 10 of them today. We have not had them for a while. We have relationships with a bunch of different wholesalers, and we usually try to buy in bulk so we can get really good pricing on laptops, and we will give them away to people like as they join True Trading Group as, you know, a cool little incentive and, you know, for them joining the TTG family, and they can use it to trade with, they can use it for work, they can give it to their kid for school. Hell, sell it on eBay and take the money, put it back in your trading account, you know, whatever. Doesn't matter for us. It's just something that we really like to do. You know, but we do have 10 more of these laptops. Guys, Nvidia the SPY, my game plan, it's all coming up here in a couple of minutes. Yes, we'll talk about LUNR and this week's catalyst here in just a couple of minutes. But yes, Suresh, we do have 10 laptops actually remaining and available for you. So you are actually in luck, my friend. You are actually in luck. It's been almost 2 weeks, I think, since we were able to get our hands on some more of those laptops. But we do have 10 of them. So let me actually go through with you guys. Actually how you can join the TTG platform, the TTG family, because the price of the membership has been going up as promised, and it will continue to go up. Also this evening, the membership is going to also take a significant jump in price. So if you guys want to take advantage and get yourself a free laptop with your membership to the TTG platform, you can do so today before the price jumps. Who is on the live stream though, real quick, first, before I do get into it? Who's on the live stream that's not a member of True Trading Group? Do me a favor, just type the letters TTG if you're not a member. If you're not a member, just type TTG real quick. Just type TTG if you guys are not a member of the TTG family. Come on, Rhino, bro. Stop making me laugh. Let's see who we got. We got Lucas. We got Kat, Suresh, Julio, Sean, Beds, Riley, April, ST, Jimmy, Echo, Ernest, Mike. Great, guys. Fantastic. We got a lot of people here that are with us tonight that are not members of the TTG family. Junior. Excellent. Guys, listen here. I'm going to get into Nvidia. I'm going to get into the SPY. I'm going to get into my game plan for the rest of the week with like all the different catalysts that we still have coming up. What I think the markets are going to do based on those catalysts. But first, all of you that are not members of the TTG family, if you go to ttgoffer.com and you enter the coupon code, you're on this live stream, so I'm giving you this coupon code. This is not for anybody else except for you guys. Use coupon code TTG121. Click apply code. The price will drop from what is normally $2,212, drops all the way down to $990. That's it. One price for all of our courses and all of our tools for the entire year. There are no upsells for courses, and there are no upsells for those tools. Okay? Go to ttgoffer.com, enter the code TTG121. The price drops to $990. The first 10 people to do so will get a brand new free laptop. You do not need to enter your address. You'll get a welcome email after you join with instructions on how to claim that free laptop. We cover the shipping. We ship anywhere in the world. Guys, we have members in over 100 different countries. I promise you, as long as you live on planet Earth, we will get you that free laptop, and we cover the shipping, but we only have 10. We haven't had any for like the last 2 weeks. We were able to get our hands on 10 of them. So the next 10 people to join will get themselves a brand new free laptop. How do you know you're one of the 10? When you go to ttgoffer.com, if you see a laptop in your checkout cart, like you see on the screen in front of you, that is how you know you're one of the 10. Once 10 transactions are completed on the site, that laptop will no longer be visible in the checkout cart. That's how you know you're one of the 10. You see it, you're one of the 10. Check out. You're good to go. Okay, that $990 includes all of our courses. It's a simplified version of what I learned when I worked at the fund in New York. Joe, maybe you can post a link to the syllabus in chat. So this way, people that are not members, you guys can just click on the link. We're going to post in chat. You'll see a list of all the courses you get access to. It's our entire 22-course curriculum. Beginner courses, advanced courses, options, swing trading, trader psychology, crypto, futures, you name it. We've got all of it. There are no VIP courses that cost another $1,000 after you join. We don't play those games. When you join the platform, you get access to the platform, right? And it's not just the courses, it's the tools too. Now, these tools are worth $5,000 to $6,000 a year if you were to pay for them on your own, like Benzinga Pro's real-time newsfeed. Okay, that alone, if you go to Benzinga, it's over $1,000 a year. It's included with your membership to TTG for just $990. You also get congressional trading data, so you can actually see what stocks members of Congress are buying and selling, and what stocks the family members of Congress are buying and selling. You'll also get insider trading data. So whether insiders of a company are buying or selling stock. You get Quote Media's full book level 2. You get Trading View's premium charting software. You get the Trade Ideas scanner, which is the industry standard scanner, streams live on our platform all day, every day. You get a simulator from ET&A that lets you practice trading with fake money, but with real-time data, stocks and options. You get a proprietary scanner to create custom scans. You get a social sentiment scanner. You get a trading journal. You get dark pool data, unusual options activity, options flow, analyst ratings. All of that is included when you join True Trading Group for $990. Now, there are other things you can pay for at True Trading Group, like we've got our first in-person meetup that we're doing in Miami in a couple of weeks. That's obviously, you have to pay extra if you want to do that. We also have like after-hours tutelage and like one-on-one mentorship. You can pay extra for that. But all of the courses and all of the tools that are on our platform are included for the $990. There is no upsells for any of those things. So you pay $990, you get access to all of it for the entire year of your membership. But only for the first 10 people to get that free laptop. You also get a one-on-one mentor session with any one of the pro traders, including myself, all right, when you guys do join, and you get a double your money back guarantee. I stand behind this platform, and I stand behind it enough to put my own money behind it. I know I talk a big game on these live streams, folks, but I back it up with our own money. It's quite simple. You have the entire year, so go at your own pace. There's no like, oh, you got to do this in 14 days, which is impossible, right? You have the whole year. Go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend one study group, and if you are unable to make back the $990, that's your membership fee. If you can't make that back at least once during your membership, I'll give you back double your money. So you'll pay $990, I'll give you back $1,980. I'll give you back $1,980 if you are unable to make the $990 back at least once during your membership. That's the commitment that I make to you when you commit to True Trading Group. Now, I can offer you that. You saw how many people typed the $sign, so the vast majority of members are making money and becoming better traders. But we've also only had to give a refund to 2.83% of our members since 2016. 78% of our members renew their membership when their year is up. We're 5-star rated on Trustpilot with well over 2,000 reviews. Based on all of these data points and all these statistics, I can very comfortably tell you that TTG's platform has helped and worked for thousands of people. We have members in over 100 different countries. And if you're willing to put forth just a little effort, utilize the platform that you are subscribing to. Go through the courses, pass the quizzes, attend the study group. If you can't make back that $990 at least once, I'll give you $1980 and you can keep that laptop. Only for the first 10 people though. Well, make that 9. Will, welcome. Everybody welcome Will. Will, welcome my man. 9 of these laptops now remain. Like I said, guys, you can use the laptop to trade with, use it for work, give it to your kid for school, or just sell it on eBay. Put the money back in your account. Whatever. It's yours. You don't have to enter your address to join. To get the laptop, rather. You'll get a welcome email after you join with instructions how to claim the free laptop. Now, listen to me carefully. If you are currently a trial member of True Trading Group, or you used to be a trial member, or you used to be an annual member, and you want this deal, you must text us. We have to whitelist your email address. Send us a text to 786-505-4049. Again, the phone number, it's right at the bottom of your screen, 786-505-4049. Right down there. Send us a text. We'll answer any questions that you guys do have also about the membership. You have questions about myself, questions about TTG as a company, whatever, text that number. We're full open book, full transparency. You text us anything, we'll answer your questions. But if you're a previous trial, or previous annual member, you must text us in order for us to whitelist your email so we can give you guys this great deal for $990. Listen carefully. After 9 people sign up or midnight tonight, not really. These aren't going to last. These 9 spots are going to go. Let's be real. Whenever we have laptops, we haven't had them in a while. So whenever we have laptops, these spots fill up quick. So after 9 people join, the price of the membership is going up. So after 9 people join, this price of our membership is going back up over $1,000. You can grab it right now for the $990. So the price will be higher tomorrow at midnight tonight, or once 9 people join. I have a feeling it's going to be after the 9 people join. And we were not able to get more laptops. So we were able to get 10. Will just took one. We now have 9. It's been very difficult for us to get them for the last 2 weeks. So if you guys want one of those free laptops, I would take advantage of it now. All right, that's ttgoffer.com. Enter the coupon code TTG121. All right, folks. All right, guys. So there we have it. As I go back to the charts here of the SPY, you heard the analysis. You heard me play the video clip for you guys where, I said very specifically, hey, this thing gaps under that 405. We got down to 404. If you get underneath that level, you got to get short. You got to get short. It's an easy 5-point move to go back down and test minimum 400. And we got all the way down to 399 on Tuesday. And that weakness continued today. You look at today's trading action. We traded lower. Right? We traded lower today. Went all the way down to 397 and change. Then you had the Fed minutes came out. And why don't we talk about the Fed minutes? Right? Why don't we talk about the Fed minutes today? What did they say in the Fed minutes? You see the markets pushed green today in the middle of the day, and then got punched back down into the close, right? And then ended up moving back to the downside. I love it, but double money back sounds sketchy. How can you do that? How can I do that? Suresh, it's actually quite simple. Suresh says, I love it. Double money back sounds sketchy. How can you do that? Suresh, I can do that because I've only had to give a refund to 2.83% of our users. And I've only had to give a refund to 2.83% of our users because the platform works and members have results. I don't know if my business partner Adam's on here too, if he wants to jump on and explain it a bit.
Yeah, it's Mike, you gotta turn your volume. It's very simple, Suresh. If our refund rate was 7% or 8% or 10%, we would not be offering a double your money back guarantee. Because it is as low as it is and the success rate of members is what it is, it is a lot easier for us to offer something like that, right? If hopefully this never happens, but if our refund rate all of a sudden skyrockets, a lot higher, then we wouldn't offer it. It's a simple business decision. Because only 2.83% of our members since inception of our company, and we've been around since the end of 2016, have requested a refund. It's something that works for right now and has worked for a while. So it's not sketchy. If anything, it's us being like, hey, we know what we have. We know what we have works. We know that if you put up the money, this can work for you. And that's pretty much it, and this is us willing to put our money where our mouth is, or at least Mike's mouth. He does a lot more talking. But that's what this is. If you're going to spend your hard-earned money, then we want to make sure that we put our money where our mouth is, and that's exactly what we're doing. So, anyways.
Exactly. So, Suresh, I hope that helps answer your question. So, like I said, folks, ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. All right. And as long as you see the laptop in your checkout cart, that's how you're getting one. 9 of those laptops remain, and the price jumps up to back over $1,000. Most of us can say we made our money back many times over. Yes, Sherry. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Traders, you were looking at the hardest working men in the stock business. As a lifetime member, I can't keep up with these two. Their life goals is to be the best trading platform for the modern trader. You're damn right. You're damn right. We've got big goals for this company, ladies and gentlemen. You're either on for the ride or we're just going to go right by you. We're just going to go right by. We're going to sail right by you. And instead of throwing you the life vest, we're just going to give you the high five. Like that meme when someone's the hand reaching out of the water. So we're either going to grab you and pull you up on the boat with us, or we're just going to slap high fives. Just let you just drift right back to the bottom. Suresh, yes. Suresh just joined, guys. Suresh just joined. 8 spots now remain. 8 spots left. TTGoffer.com. TTG121 coupon code. Suresh, it's my pleasure to have you on board. Yes, we'll get you that free laptop. All right, guys, 8 spots now remain. Remember, TTGoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. 8 spots left. Free laptop, double your money back guarantee, one-on-one mentor session, all the courses, all the tools. If you have any questions, text us, 786-505-4049. All right, guys. So let's get back over. I don't want the refund. I want to make this work. I don't want to give you a refund. So we're on the same page. I want this to work for you as well. I don't want to give a refund. I don't want to have to give a refund to any one of our members. I want this to work for every single person. But let's be real. 100% of our members are not all killing it and making money. Okay, the vast majority of them are. But for those traders that still struggle, we hold red to green workshops every month. We leave no trader behind at no additional cost whatsoever. Any member of True Trading Group that is struggling. We have an open door policy. You guys can reach out and ask for help at any time. Don't be shy. Don't be too proud to ask for help. It's the reason why you're joining is to get help. Whether you're successful or not, the reason why you're joining is to get help from other traders. Okay, so let's not be too proud to ask for help. But we do red screen workshops every month. So any member that's still struggling, you can submit questions or topics that you're having a hard time with, and we will host 2-hour live workshops with those members to help them answer the questions and cover the topics that they're having a hard time with and get them back and get them, the P&L starting to get moving in the right direction. And that's what it means to be part of the TTG family. We've got to welcome Joshua. Joshua, welcome to the family. Everybody welcome Joshua. 7 of those laptops now remain. 7 of those laptops now remain. Again, guys, ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. All right. All right, guys, let's talk about what happened with the Fed minutes. So the minutes came out today. For those of you that don't know what the Fed minutes are the notes from the last Fed meeting. Now, it is important that I do say this. You have to take the Fed minutes with a grain of salt because a lot has happened since the Fed meeting. So if you guys recall, we had a Fed meeting. I'll go back. We had a Fed meeting right there. There was our Fed meeting. So the data you got today was the notes from this meeting, but a lot happened since then. You got red scorching hot inflation data. The worst PPI number that we've seen in over 6 months. And the CPI number was hot as well, but the PPI was worse. So you got to remember, the minutes from today are the notes from the meeting that happened on February 1st. After February 1st, the inflation data all came in hot. So again, you got to take the Fed minutes with a grain of salt, which is why I think the markets did not have an outsized reaction to the Fed minutes today. This really wasn't a really big move for the Fed minutes. You basically just finished out the daily range that the markets had. And what did they say? So let's summarize kind of the minutes. It's interesting that a few of the Fed members, which we already know that 2 of them felt this way because they've already publicly came out and said it. But we know that, and I'm saying a few because specifically they used the term few. Fed members were, they wanted a 50 basis point rate hike at that February 1st Fed meeting. So as you all know, on February 1st, the Fed raised interest rates by 0.25, so 25 basis points. It said a few members wanted to raise by 50. Now, you already know that Mester and Bullard, which are two Fed members, they've already publicly came out over the last 2 weeks and said, I thought we should have did 50. So we already know those 2 people wanted to do 50. But when the Fed uses the word few, I mean, it is also widely accepted that few means more than 2, but that is kind of a factual thing with terminology from the Fed. When the Fed says a few, they mean more than 2. So it could be 3, it could be 4, we don't know, but at least we know that it was Mester, and we know that it was Bullard, right? But that means that there was at least one other person that wanted to give you 50 basis points. Now that inflation numbers all came in hot, I can promise you that that number would probably be at least 1 or 2 people higher if they knew the inflation data was going to come in as high as it actually did. We got to welcome Sam. Sam, welcome to the family. 6 of those laptops now remain. Everybody welcome Sam. Everybody welcome Sam. 6 $6. Guys, hurry up. Grab one of these. It's a free laptop. Grab this. We haven't had them in 2 weeks. We don't have any more after this. You get a free laptop with your membership. Just go to ttgoffer.com. Enter the coupon code TTG121. Click apply code. The price drops to $9.90. The price is going up after 6 more people join. You don't have to enter your address. After you join, you will get a welcome email. In that welcome email are instructions on how to claim the free laptop. We have members in over 100 different countries. So if you do not live in the United States or Canada, do not worry about it. We will get you a laptop. We have members in India, Russia, the Philippines, Thailand, Japan, New Zealand, Australia, Brazil. We have members in Nigeria. We have members in Spain, Italy, France, the UK, the Netherlands, in Chile, in Mexico. We have members all over the world. We'll get you that laptop. We cover the shipping. So Sam, welcome. If anybody has any questions, like I said, don't hesitate. 786-505-4049. You got to double your money back guarantee. Listen, I don't think you need it. Honestly, God, me personally, I don't think you need it. But it's there for peace of mind, and it's there to hold us accountable. Like I said, I make a lot of big claims on these live streams. I get it. And that's why we back it up with our money as well. You're going to join, you're going to put your money up to join in True Trading Group. You're going to commit to us in that way. We will put our money up and we will commit right back to you. That's what happens when you join the TTG family. Kasim, welcome. 5 of these laptops now remain. Kasim, welcome. 5 laptops now remain. Again, TTGoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. You have to manually enter the code and then click apply code. The price will drop to $9.90. Remember, it's going to be over $1,000 after 5 more people join. Hurry up, take advantage of it now. Let's get back to the charts. So that's what happened with the Fed minutes. Okay, so those are the Fed minutes. A couple of key points that were also in the minutes. Here's one that I think is important, and this is why I said I think that the market got complacent over the last 2 weeks. If you've been following the live streams for the last 2 weeks, this is why I said that. And the Fed comes out and says in their Fed minutes, they said we need to see substantially more evidence that inflation is on their desired path lower. Which means the Fed is still not convinced that inflation is on autopilot to 2%. They're not. They are still very worried and very concerned and very cautious or aware of inflation either not coming down or worse, accelerating back up. Right? Okay? So that's what they mean by substantial more evidence that inflation is on our desired path. We had really, really, really good inflation data over the last several months. But I said this many times. It is a lot easier for inflation to go from 9% to 6% than it is to go from 6% to 3%. And the fact that the market has gotten complacent to the idea that, oh, that's it, inflation is not a problem anymore, inflation is going to go straight down. I think that was a mistake by the market. That's that complacency that we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks on these live streams. And I told you before we had CPI and PPI come out, I told you that I think either this month or next month, you're going to get hot CPI. Turns out it was this month, which really means last month. So the data you get in February is January's inflation data, but it's released in February. So in March, you're going to get more data, but it's February's inflation data. It's released in March, right? So the data you got this month was red hot. So for the market to just think that we're just on autopilot, that's a mistake. And the Fed confirmed that for you in the minutes, that we're not on autopilot here just yet. They said they expect slowing growth deeper into 2023. They see that the recession chance in 2023 is elevated, but elevated, just so you understand what they mean by elevated, just means that in course of normal economic activity, the chances of recession are higher than a baseline regular 2-3% GDP growth type of era. So if they say, recession chances are elevated, they don't mean that from 1 or 2 months ago it's elevated. They just mean that from a baseline it's elevated, which we already know that, right? The Fed's going through this massive rate hike cycle. We've been talking about recession for the last 6-8 months. Of course, we already know that already. That's not really anything new. But here's the interesting part, because this is something that we talked about. They said, but China's reopening could help with U.S. demand and therefore could help avoid a recession. You remember how we've been talking about in these live streams for the last couple of days that I've been saying that people don't really know if China's reopening is going to be a net positive or net negative. It's either going to be a net positive to avoid a recession, or it's going to be a net negative because it's going to push inflation higher. So the Fed in their minutes, which means they discussed in their meeting that they feel China's reopening could help the U.S. avoid a recession. That's an important piece of information that we should be watching. The fear is that China's reopening, China's the largest consumer of commodities in the world. So the fear was that China reopening was going to push commodity prices higher, oil and a bunch of, copper and everything else. And that would then start to cause inflation on the commodity side of things, which is inflation that the Fed really has no control over, that would start to reignite inflation and start to push things higher again. So the fact that the Fed is not necessarily looking at China as a net negative for inflation, but rather a net positive for soft landing is an important thing that we should be paying very close attention to. All right. So those are the Fed minutes. That's everything that we got today. All right. So that was today. Those were your Fed minutes were today. What else do we have coming up? Tomorrow you have initial jobless claims, important number. Last number was 196,000, under the expectation of 200K. The labor market remains strong. You want to be paying attention to the labor market, right? The whole balancing act here, which is even more important now that you got hot inflation, that the labor market has to remain strong. If inflation is going to be hot, the market wants to see that, okay, now we know the Fed's going to have to be more aggressive. The market believes that inflation will come down. Maybe it's not coming down as fast as we would have liked, but it's still coming down. And as long as the labor market can hold up and can stay strong and long enough for inflation to come down, that's how you have the soft landing scenario. It all comes down to how long can the labor market hold? Can the labor market hold long enough for inflation to come back to 2%? That's the question. If it does, soft landing. If it doesn't, that's the recession. So you want to start to see these labor numbers, like the initial jobless claims, you want to see those numbers stay strong. All right, so that's what you're going to get that tomorrow at 8:30. You're also going to get your first revision of Q4 GDP. Your Q4 GDP print came in at 2.9%. This is going to be a revised number. So now there's more data, there's more information that can give a more accurate number of what Q4 GDP was. That's the number that you're getting tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Going to want to see the labor market still hold. Okay, you're going to want to see that still hold. You also have Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic is speaking, and San Francisco Fed Mary Daly is going to be speaking. On Friday, you have a lot of data. Friday is going to be nuts. Friday, you have consumer spending. You're going to want to see that number stay strong. Personal income. Going to want to see that number stay strong. PCE index data. That is another piece of inflation, which in any other scenario, I would tell you that the PCE number is more important than I think it is tomorrow, because I just don't think that another hot PCE number is going to really shock the market all that much. The market already got its shock of CPI and PPI. I believe that it's fully expected you're going to get a hot PCE number. The only thing that the PCE number can now be would be a surprise to the downside. And then that would give the markets a boost. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think the PCE, just like PPI, just like CPI, is going to come in higher than expected. All right, but I just don't think it's going to be a shock. Demetrio, we got to welcome Demetrio. Demetrio, welcome to the TTG family. Everybody welcome Demetrio. We're now down to just 4. Guys, we're now down to 4 of those spots. Remember, if you go to ttgoffer.com, as long as you see a laptop, that's how you know you're getting one. Enter the coupon code TTG121. Click apply code. The price drops to $9.90. You get a free one-on-one mentor session. You get a free laptop. We cover the shipping. And you get a double your money back guarantee. It's simple. Go Go through the courses, pass the quizzes, attend a study group. And if you cannot make back $990 at least once during your membership, I'll give you back double your money, $1,980. I can do that because we've only had to give a refund to 2.83% of our members. And 78% of our members renew their membership. We're 5-star rated on Trustpilot with over 2,000 reviews. That's why I can offer you that. Back to all the data from Friday. Consumer sentiment numbers also are coming out. So you have consumer spending, personal income, PCE, you have new home sales, and you have consumer sentiment. You're going to want to see the consumer sentiment numbers stay strong. There's a direct correlation between consumer sentiment and consumer spending. Our entire economy is driven 70% on the consumer. So you're going to want to see that consumer sentiment stay strong. Then the fun begins on Friday. You have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 Fed members speaking on Friday. Yeah, I see it. James Giddy, we're going to get to your question in just a moment once I'm done talking about all the other stuff that I'm talking about right now. So you're going to have at 10:15, 2 different Fed members speaking. At 11:30, another Fed member speaking. And then at 1:30, 2 more Fed members speaking. So Friday is going to be, it's a lot for the Fed. Exactly. So you have 7 different Fed members speaking between Thursday and Friday. 7. I don't think I've ever seen 7 Fed members speak in a 2-day period, ever. I honestly cannot tell you the last time that I've seen 7 Fed members speak within 2 days of each other. That's going to move the market. 100%. Between PCE, consumer sentiment, consumer spending, personal income, all these Fed members speaking, this is going to move the market in a big way. It's going to be a big catalyst. I told you on Monday this is going to be a big week. I told you it was going to be a big week. I told you this is going to move the market. These catalysts will move the market. So far they have in a big way so far. It's only been 2 days. You got 2 more still to go. Yeah, it's a short week, but don't let a short week fool you. You can get a lot of trading action, and we already have, and I think we're going to continue to see a lot of trading action. Not to mention the earnings that have all come out. And this brings me back to James's question about Nvidia. Okay? Nvidia just absolutely destroyed their earnings. Destroyed. Now, their earnings are a substantial decline from the prior year, but that's expected. The point is that they beat on earnings per share, they beat on revenue, and they beat on guidance. So all across the board, top, bottom line, Nvidia's earnings were higher and their guidance was higher than what was expected of them. That's why the stock is absolutely exploding after hours, up 10%. It's a huge move for Nvidia. Okay? Now, Nvidia, my TTG family members know this. It's one of my favorite stocks I own in my long-term portfolio. And I'm going to own this company and I'm going to own this stock for a very long time. They're also seeing a boost. They're now doing a rev share with Mercedes. They're doing a rev share for Mercedes with their autonomous driving. Instead of this way, Mercedes gets a lower upfront cost for the very expensive, high-powered semiconductor chips that are needed for the self-driving technology that Mercedes is really, really, really pushing to try to compete and really challenge Tesla. And they partnered with Nvidia a couple of years ago for that technology. But now they're doing a rev share with Nvidia, which is better for Nvidia. And honestly, it's better, higher margins than for Nvidia. They'll make more money at the end of it all. But also better for Mercedes because they get a lower upfront cost because those chips are extremely expensive. Nvidia is also at the forefront of AI technology with their chips. So there's a lot of positive things going on with Nvidia. The stock is reacting very positively, obviously, from it, with a huge move to the upside. However, you have a big level of resistance up there around 230, 231. And to be quite frank with you, I'm probably going to try, I might even try to fade Nvidia off of 231. So maybe tomorrow, let's say tomorrow we open up around 229 to 228. We shoot up to like 231, 232, run out of steam a little bit, and then maybe start to pull ourselves back in and probably drop back into like the low 220s. I just think there's a lot of resistance up there. You look back to the left, you see the structure resistance from mid-April. Prior to that, you had the big gap down in early April, and that gap down created this gap in early April, and we have since closed that gap, and then we have double topped at that level, acting as resistance. Now you get this huge gap up on earnings, and I'm just looking to see tomorrow, if you get this gap up tomorrow up here because of earnings, I'm just looking to see, like, do we get a little bit of a fade? And I would look to actually see a candle maybe tomorrow that looks a little something like this. So I'm not just going to come in and just short it blindly off the bell, because if we break through 231, then you can see like a breakout move. So I'm not just going to get short right at it. I'm going to wait. I'll let the stock push at 231, 232. If I see it starting to get a little tired, if I see it's making lower highs, if I see the volume is slowing down, if I see like a high volume rejection candle off of 231.50, something like that shows me that, hey, you know what? Stock seems like it's running out of steam. Then maybe I'll take the short and we look for a candle that looks something similar to this and look for a pullback to like 225, 224, something around there. But I just think that's a big level of resistance up there. So I am thinking about fading it, but I'm not going to fade into it. I'll wait for it to get there, show me weakness, and then I'll short the backside of the weakness. I don't want to short the front side strength. I want to short the backside weakness. Okay? We got to welcome Puccio. Puccio, welcome to the TTG family. We now have 3 of these spots left. Everybody welcome Puccio. 3 of these spots now remain. Guys, again, go to ttgoffer.com. Use that code, TTG121. Click apply code. The price will drop to $9.90. All right. All right, folks. And then last but certainly not least, we got to talk about LUNR. This stock went nuts today. Went absolutely. This was a $40 stock when the market opened. It went to $140. Yes, you heard me correctly. It was a $40 stock today, actually $38, and it went all the way to $136.
Some would say that it was destined to go to the moon.
Some would say that. Some definitely would. Some would say that. That is accurate. It's very good. It's a good one, Adam. So everybody, this is the question I got from a lot of people today. Is this the next HKD? That's a question I got from people. So let me answer that question after I take a sip of water. HKD is a 1 in 10 million, 100 million type of scenario. I don't know if I've ever seen a stock go from $10 to $2,500 in just a couple of days in my entire 17-year trading career. Okay? I honestly don't. I honestly don't think I've ever seen it. So, do I think Lunar can be the next HKD? Meaning, do I think it's going to go to 2,000? No, I don't think it's going to go to 2,000. But do I think this thing could still really rip? I do. It's a very, very sexy story. It's a very sexy industry. The volume on it today was fantastic. The after hours recovery is still promising. That it could have been so easy for this stock to just drift out into oblivion after the close today. But it didn't. It reversed trend after hours.
I mean, it could have fallen in a black hole.
It could have fallen in a black hole, yes. But instead, you had that nice recovery after hours, and then it stabilized into the close of the after hours session. It would have been very easy for the stock to just fade out and just drift into oblivion today, or drift into a black hole rather. But as I sit here and I'm looking at this stock, I could see this continuing higher. This is the type of play that, this is a purely a momentum based play. There's no technical levels here. There's no, I think the stock's going to go to 500. There's no level at 500. There's no level anywhere. You're in uncharted territory. The stock has never traded at these prices before. The company just went public through a SPAC merger on Valentine's Day. It just started trading after Valentine's Day, and the stock has now started to really make a move. And I think the stock was very heavily shorted, it being a SPAC. SPACs have been complete garbage over the last year and a half. It's one of the biggest wealth destroyers over the last year and a half is the SPAC index of all the companies that have come out via SPAC mergers. And I think that as soon as the stock started moving higher after its SPAC merger, I think it was very, very heavily shorted. It was very heavily shorted over the last 3 trading days, not including today. And then shorts got absolutely squeezed and just ripped. And I think that you could still see a further bit of a short squeeze. I think that people came in and they shorted the crap out of Lunar back here these last couple of days. You got this squeeze. It is on everybody's radar. Everybody on social media is talking about this being the next HKD. I am going to be focusing on this thing tomorrow. Hear me now and hear me clear. This is going to be an extremely volatile stock. One of the most volatile stocks in the entire market. If you are brand new to trading, I wouldn't even bother looking at this thing. But I will be going after this. Adjust your position size. The stock can and will halt several times due to volatility. And I will be prepared for that. But I will be looking for this to see if there is a bit more of a short squeeze that can happen on LUNR. And that could be a hell of a lot of fun. Because could this thing go to 200 or 250? Absolutely. Could it go to 500 or 600? Absolutely. Could it go to 1,000? Why not? We've seen crazier things happen. HKD went to $2,500 before that short squeeze finally crapped out. So anything can happen. Short squeezes always tend to go further than people initially think, which is why short squeezes are so powerful. Because as the stock moves higher, more people short it. Then they cover, and then more people short it, and then they get squeezed, and more people short it because it feeds itself. The higher it goes, the more it gets shorted, the more shorts get squeezed, and it just feeds itself like. It's like a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico. It just feeds and feeds, and it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. It's like that's how these short squeezes, like an HKD, happens. And Lunar does have that type of potential. Being a SPAC, it was very heavily shorted coming out of it because so many of them have failed so miserably. This thing could squeeze. It already squeezed today, but I think it could squeeze a little bit more. All right, so there we have it, folks, and that's it. Right, that concludes, my analysis on the SPY, on these different catalysts, on earnings. The levels now you need to be paying attention to on the SPY is 404, 404 resistance, and this is what I'm looking for to happen. 404 resistance, and here's your new support at the 50-day moving average, which is 397. And I believe you see a new trading range form inside of these two levels, and you can look for maybe a little bit of a bounce back into that level. It's resistance again. You roll it back down, and then eventually I think you break that 50-day moving average, and I think you test the 200-day moving average, which is this yellow line, and eventually the 100-day will come up and meet the 200-day moving average right inside these low 390s. That's where I think we're headed. I think we're headed to those low 390s. I think you need like a bounce back day or two, but then I think you take your next leg to the downside, back down into that 200 to 100-day moving average, and I'll look for short opportunities on bounce backs up towards 404, 405, but then you look for the break of the 50-day, and then to get down to, let's say, 393 or so. Okay? And there you guys have it. Hope you guys found this helpful and found it useful. Guys, don't forget ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. Make sure you guys use that coupon code now. The price is going up here at midnight tonight, or when a couple of more people do join. Let's see how many spots. Let me see how many spots that we... 3. So 3 spots left. So how do you know that you're one of the 3 spots? Again, I'll say it. If you go to ttgoffer.com and you see a laptop in the checkout cart, that's how you know you're one of the 3. You'll enter the coupon code TTG121. You'll click apply code. The price drops to $9.90. You see a laptop. That's how you know you're getting one. If you do not see a laptop, that means we have sold out. You'll still get the $9.90 price point. Okay, but we're going to be moving that price point up to over $1,000. Okay, so it'll be well over $1,000 heading into tomorrow. So you guys want to take advantage of this offer while it's still here to get that free laptop. And you'll also be getting a one-on-one mentor session with one of our mods, and you'll be getting the double your money back guarantee. Again, I don't think you need the double your money back guarantee, but it's there for peace of mind. All right, guys, so that concludes the educational part of the live stream. If you're not interested in membership at all, you can sign off before you go, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, turn on your notifications. If you are interested, let me show you what the $9.90 gets you. I'll show you the tools, I'll show you the courses, and the platform that is True Trading Group. Okay? So, let's go to... I'll show you guys right now. Like I said, I'll show you guys all the stuff that is included with your membership. So like I said, it is an all-inclusive membership. So you get all the courses, you get all the tools. So, of course, you're going to get our chat room. The chat room is where the mods and I share our screen. We're live on the mic. We're calling out trades. We're with you from pre-market all the way through to the market close. We're not gone after an hour or two. There's 9 professional traders walking you through a trading day, giving you commentary, answering questions, telling you exactly what they're buying and selling. If you can't be in front of your computer, don't worry about it. We have a mobile app that lets you see the screen share, listen to the audio, and get real-time push notifications sent directly to your cell phone whenever a moderator enters or exits a trade. We are not scalpers. We're not in and out of trades 150 times, and we're out in 60 seconds. Our day trades last several hours. Our swing trades last several days, sometimes several weeks. It is quite easy for you to follow along with what we're doing inside chat by using that mobile app. So if you have a busy schedule, you can't be in front of your computer, that mobile app has you covered. You get 2 private study group sessions with our mods to speed up your learning curve with your membership. You also get the Benzinga Pro newsfeed, live breaking up to the second news alerts. This alone, if you go to Benzinga, will cost you $1,000. It's included with your membership to TTG when you join for $9.90. You also get congressional trading data, members of Congress and their family members, what stocks are they buying and selling. You get TradingView's premium charting software. You get the Trade Ideas scanner, which is the industry standard scanner. You get a simulator from ET&A that lets you guys practice trading and with fake money, but with real-time data, so you can, practice implementing what you're learning in the courses. You get our own proprietary scanner that lets you create your own custom scans. You got dark pool data, unusual options activity, and options flow. A full trading journal that will track your trading and break it down to the statistics. You can see what you're doing wrong. You get a social sentiment scanner, so you know what stocks are being talked about most on social media, like LUNR. Analyst ratings on any stock you're interested in, so you see how many analysts have a buy, sell, or hold rating on a particular name. A watch list every day from the moderators, so you know exactly what stocks that we are focusing on with a game plan, a clear game plan of we're looking to buy here and sell there, okay? Very clear game plan with the watch list, you know where to focus your time and energy and your focus in every trading day. Then you get all the courses. The courses are a simplified yet expanded upon version of the 3-month educational training program that I went through and I worked at the fund in New York. You get beginner courses, advanced courses, options, swing trading, trader psychology, crypto futures. We have all of it. There's no VIP courses that cost another $1,000. There's no upsells for courses. You get access to all of them for the $9.90. You'll also be getting access to our video library. This has 400 hours of additional workshops and videos that we've conducted with members live, and you can start attending these workshops live when you become a full-time member. But for now, you can, when you join, you can go back and watch all the previous ones that we've done. All right? Hey guys, listen, I can't guarantee that you're going to be successful just because you joined True Trading Group. But what I can guarantee is that if you do join, if you go through the courses, if you pass the quizzes, you attend a study group, and do not ever make the $990 back, not even once during your membership, Then I'll give you back $1,980, and you can keep that free laptop. That is a guarantee that I can make. Go to ttgoffer.com, grab one of these last remaining spots, enter the code TTG121, click apply code. You see a laptop, you're good to go. If you're a previous trial, or previous member, or you're just someone that has questions, text us 786-505-4049. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. If you have not done so already, subscribe, smash the like button, turn on your notifications. I will see you all in chat tomorrow. Have a great night, guys. Take care.